Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our 2-Bit Circus Foundation live stream. I am here with Robert again. Robert and Michael are here again, and we are going to do a really awesome project today called Mud Bricks. And this is a fun project that you could get dirty with, and as long as you have dirt or sand in your backyard, you can probably do this project. So we have all our materials set up for us to go today. And what are we going to be doing today, Robert?
Building.
What are we going to build?
Houses.
A house for what?
For my Lego figures.
Yes, so we are going to build out of mud bricks. We're going to be building a house for Robert's Lego guys. So which characters did you bring here today?
I bring a cool pilot.
You brought a pilot.
With one of those jet mask thingies.
So he has his little air mask on for when he's up in the air. So he gets oxygen, a good oxygen supply.
And I got this guy with a beard.
Kind of looks like
and
me,
a blue jacket.
Is that me?
Awesome.
So you brought Dad, a pilot. What else did you bring?
A police cop here.
Awesome. We got
he has a
bulletproof vest on. Awesome. So we have a police officer, a jet pilot, Dad.
But it's a police jet pilot.
Oh, cool. So he works for the police too. Awesome. And then what's the last guy we have?
Emmett from the Lego movie.
We have Emmett from the Lego movie.
And he has two kinds of faces. He has one that he's scared and a smiley one.
So maybe is he going to be happy that we're building a house? Or is he going to be scared that we're building a house?
He's going to be scared if it starts shaking and gets big.
Yeah, so maybe if our house starts falling down, his face is going to turn. But right now he's going to be happy, right? And isn't Emmett like a construction worker too? Yeah, so he might be our assistant today.
I'm a construction worker for now.
So maybe we need to ask Emmett for help later when we do this project.
Hey, ride.
Right. Awesome. So, hey Robert, where are you going?
I'm going to show you his airplane.
Alright, well Robert's going to go get the jet pilot airplane, so maybe he's going to land at the house. While Robert's doing that, I could go ahead and get us started on what you do and how you make your bricks. Now, what you want to do is you want to get a good selection of dirt or sand from outside. So I have a nice selection right here. And if you see what I'm doing with a spoon, is I'm just chopping up any large chunks that you might have of clumped up dirt or sand.
Hey, ride. Everybody calls a ride.
And I'm gonna pull out any large rocks or anything in there that I don't want in my building material. So I started doing that before we started on camera. I have a bunch of rocks here. Awesome.
Right.
Cool. Robert, we're gonna come back to those Lego figures in just a second. We need to go ahead and show them how we made these bricks. Nice, parachute man. So maybe all these people are gonna come visit at the party of our house. Right? Awesome. Hey bud, can you show them how we make the bricks? I have all the sand here. What do we do?
Oh, we need the sand, so I glue it on.
To make the bricks, right? What else did we put in here to make those bricks? Do you remember when we made them outside?
We put dirt, water.
Okay, so I have dirt here. What am I missing?
Water, but you need the sun too.
Oh yeah, we need the sun as well.
So like bake it?
Yeah. So well, we could actually open this up so we could get water quicker. Okay. So as Robert was saying, do you want to pour the water?
Yeah.
All right. So you need to pour the water into the sand. And then mix it around till it gets like a mud mortar kind of composition to it, right? And hopefully I didn't put too much water in here. So you want to be very cautious with how much water you put. because you don't want to make it too liquidy, right? And it
You
looks
also
like,
have to let it dry off in the sun.
yeah. So it looks like I put way, way too much water in here. So what you could do is you could either pour some of the water out like I'm doing right now, or you could just go add more dirt to there. This is like backyard science, so there's not necessarily any real measurement here, but I'm just gonna get some of this excess water because I poured way too much water. All right. We might need some more sand.
Wait, is that going to be a huge brick?
No, what we're gonna use this for is actually helping us put our building together. So in order to make the bricks, what you do is you mix the water and the sand, or the water and the dirt, and you're gonna get like a composition like this. Now this is kind of liquidy, but it would still work for your bricks if you wanted it like that. You would then put it into some sort of framing structure. We use ice cube trays, but you could use anything that you want. So you can make the bricks large or small. We actually tried using cardboard as well, right, Robert? Mm-hmm. But we learned that when you put the cardboard in there, what the cardboard actually did, the cardboard mold, is it absorbed a lot of the moisture from the mixture here, and then the bricks didn't dry out thoroughly in the sun. So using cardboard will work, but it will actually slow down the drying process. So after you were to put the mix into the ice cube trays, you would then let it sit out in the sun and bake. And then what you would get from that are these kind of bricks. So you can see we have a brick of dirt or sand right here that was made in the ice cube tray. Once they dry in the sun, I left it for 24 hours, so overnight. And obviously this is gonna also depend on your temperature outside, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's gonna take a lot longer.
Like you don't need it like that long for like until it's July. You don't need it that long.
Yeah. Well, you don't need it like for a whole month, right?
Yeah.
But it depends. Like Robert, do you think if we did this in winter and we left it outside, it would take longer, right? Because it's cooler outside.
And if you use like a plastic, like paper, it will blow away. Like some of it.
Yeah, and so we were really lucky because in the desert here where we live, it was like 100 degrees yesterday, huh?
So we didn't need it that long.
Yeah, so we just left it out overnight and pretty much the rocks baked really quickly. And I actually looked online, Robert. Do you know the indigenous people who lived in the desert here where we live now? Mm-hmm. This is how they used to make their houses. So you know how it gets really hot here in summer? They would make all their bricks in the summertime, but they wouldn't, and they would build their houses, but they wouldn't use those houses during summer because it would be too hot with those bricks. But those would be their houses that they would use during the winter time.
Like in the old days, they needed to bake it.
Yeah, so they would bake them in summer, build their house, and then they would have a nice warm structure that they would use for winter. During summer, they just lived in little huts with like leaves and stuff over, because that way the heat would escape and they'd be cool. Because it gets so hot out here, huh? Very smart, very smart. So we are not going to actually show you how the bricks cook because it's going to take over 24 hours for the bricks to cook. But again, you would just want to fill up your tray, as I said, and right now I just have excess water in here, but we could pretend that it exists. And then something that I learned as well is that after you put all of the material into the tray, you might want to tap it a couple times. And what that does, it gets any air pockets out or any excess water that might be below the dirt still. And that brings it to the top. So you allow the dirt to settle to the bottom. And what that allows to happen is for you to get a more solid brick. If you don't do that, what happens is you're going to end up with bricks like I do where you have little holes in them, and those are little air pockets or pockets where water got trapped during the construction process. So this one has it as well. So that's something you just want to be mindful of if you want more solid and dense bricks. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Rogue standing by said that it's awesome to add history to this project. Definitely is, because all of the subject areas are combined together. So when you're teaching this or working with kids, you can talk a little bit about the history of it, right, Robert? So that way they have time to learn about the history. You could talk about the engineering and science behind this.
But what if you don't tell them directions, and then they won't know what to do if you don't tell them their directions?
Well, that's the fun, Robert. Like, I'm not telling you how to build your house right now, right?
Yeah, that's why you can build anything you want.
Exactly.
Without using Lego directions if it's so cool and big.
Well, that's because you wanted to copy their same exact design. But you also mess with Legos where you don't follow directions, right? They've been doing that a lot of time. So,
But this one, not gonna break.
not gonna break. Well, Robert, right now we are ready to go to start building your house for your Lego characters. So we could start getting the bricks and start constructing a wall here.
So then I spent all my money here to build a whole house.
Yep, I think they need to come build the house now.
But I got this money back.
Now, depending on what material you use to give the frame to design your bricks is going to determine how you're going to construct your project a little bit. Now, something you all might notice about ice trays is that they're actually tapered. So this isn't a perfect cube, right? One side is actually larger than the other side as it tapers. And ice cube trays are actually made like that because when you want to remove the ice from the tray, that shape actually helps push it out like a wedge. So our bricks, because we use the same ice cube trays, became just like that shape, right? It's tapered on one side. So if I were just to start stacking these bricks next to each other, you're actually going to have a triangle shape in there. And that's not going to give you a solid structure. So what you could do is alternate them, where you have one with the tapered side down, the next brick with the tapered side up. And then as you bring them closer together, you will fill in all of those seams and gaps. Now what we're going to try to do in order to hold these bricks together as we make them is we're going to actually use more of our mix here and see if putting that along the edge will actually help hold them together. Now this process is going to take, again, time to dry. So I don't know how far we are going to get in our structure, because in order to make it sound, we're going to have to allow it some drying time. Okay? So we could just keep going on and moving along here. Oop, this side has to go down now. Okay? And then you're going to be doing the same thing on the top, but I would alternate them so they're going to be not perfectly aligned. And what I mean by that is, if you notice the gap here is actually, let's see if you can see from that camera that way. Awesome. So the gap right here, this line is not going to be over the line from the bottom row. It's going to actually be between the two. So the next row is going to be offset slightly. Let's see if this is going to work. Robert, what do you think?
I think it's gonna work.
Yeah. And what's funny is our building processes of using things like concrete have actually not changed very much. They do these very similar processes. Good question, Dr. Leah Haynes. The material actually takes over 24 hours to dry and cure. It could take longer time than that, depending on the environment outside. So here in the desert where I live, I was able to make these bricks in 24 hours, leaving them baking in 100-degree sunlight. if your temperatures are lower, it might take more time for all that water to evaporate and the bricks to cure. Now something else that's really cool about this wedge structure with these ice cube trays is that it actually is going to create tension between the bricks, right, on the sides, so that way it's going to help keep it more straight, more leveled. This is actually looking pretty solid right now, these first 2 rows. Now, my thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, is how I'm going to make the rows for the side walls here. Robert, what do you think? Let's see if I can lower this a little bit so we can see more on that side as well. I don't want to chop my head off there, but... that helps a little bit. Cool. Definitely, I think that humidity would actually make the curing time take longer because there's moisture in the air, so it wouldn't be able to evaporate the moisture out of the bricks. And that's the same reason why when you live in Florida or parts of Canada that are humid, when you sweat, you feel all wet, is because you're not actually evaporating the sweat off your body. It's just staying stagnant there. As opposed to Southern California, where there's not a lot of humidity, when you start sweating, the sweat evaporates right away, so your skin kind of feels dry and there's less moisture in the air. And that's why a lot of the indigenous people on the west side were using a lot of adobe structured style housing, is because they were able to cure the soil with their natural elements where that might not be available in other parts of the world where it's more humid. Awesome. Robert, do you have any ideas for me on how I could start making the turns of the houses?
Just put some on the bottom and then do the same thing.
Help me out with that. Help me start doing the guide so I can figure that out. And then we could put the mortar mix in between.
You just put them like that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. So I was actually trying to make a wall that would be like interchangeable. Robert's like, why did you just put it next to the side, right? Mm-hmm. And so Robert's very smart. The sides are actually tapered as well. So the wide side and the narrow sides are tapered. So I could just take the narrow side taper and put that next to that. And there you go. Look at that, Robert. I needed you. Just bump. Boom. Can you help me finish this up, bud? And we also got to start thinking about windows and doors, right? Like your guys have to get in and out.
Maybe you can just make a little gap there that they can just walk in.
Well, help me out with that. Help me out with that. I'm going to open up some more bricks here because we almost already used, like in just this little piece, that's almost one entire tray.
Leave a gap like this and then you walk in.
Okay, so let's start laying those bricks out for me.
But you need to measure their size.
Good. So start measuring their size for me.
Also, I have a horse Lego.
Oh, so maybe after we're done with the house, if we have time, we can make a little stable or something.
Like a farm?
Yeah, like a stable for the horse to live in.
Next I want a piggy.
Yep.
A piggy one.
So the way...
Like a piggy farm.
Yeah. So the way I was removing these bricks from the ice cube trays is I would just turn it over and I would gently push on the bottom of the tray, and that would release the mold to come out without creating too much damage to the actual brick. Awesome. Alright, so let's see here. Now it's interesting, I didn't notice this at first. It looks like some of the ice cube molds are actually bigger than the others. So I have two different size bricks, but that's cool. That allows us to play around a little bit with the shape here. I'm going to pull some of these narrow bricks out and use the larger bricks at the base. Now maybe I should have also put, I haven't been, but maybe I should put some mortar mix in the middle there to help stick it together.
Ugh.
I was actually telling Maven when I was making these with Robert the other day that it would be really cool if we actually made them bigger bricks and tried to make a real life structure with them. That'd be pretty cool.
Like I was talking about like a big brick here, like
Yeah.
that big.
You were saying to use that tray as a mixture for a bigger brick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Alright, Robert, you're not letting out the doorway. So you want the doorway to be on this side?
Look what just happened.
What happened? So I gotta also be very careful here. It looks like the mixture is actually drying inside my house really quickly too. Obviously it's not fully cured, but it's getting pretty dry. Oh, I just broke a brick. Okay. Now I'm gonna actually move some of this mortar off because it actually dried out here really quick. And this layer won't stick. Awesome. Okay, and put some new on there to make that structure bigger. Brick is done. Cool.
We got some proof.
Nice, nice. Hey Robert, I was just thinking though, I'm looking at the camera and what everyone could see we're doing, and they could see the nice face of the wall. Do you think we should build the house out this way for them, or should we keep going this way? I'm trying to think what would be better for everyone to see.
Wait, could we just color the house after?
Maybe, yeah, you could paint it and do whatever you want to it. What you also
There's
do,
gonna be another crime. He's gonna spray paint the wrong color.
yeah, after the structure builds a little bit, what we need to do is we have to, on the outside where you see all these lines, you're gonna fill it in with more of the mortar mix to give it a smooth outside surface, and then there won't be any air gaps in there as well. Okay. I think from the top camera you can see inside what we're gonna do here. And we'll probably leave the roof off right now as well. See, and what's cool about this is if you break the bricks, you could actually just reuse the dirt. Like this brick that I used over here, I could just break it up again and then reuse it for my mix. And good thing I have a good amount of water in here, because that way I could re-moisturize my mix if it's too dry. Awesome, Robert. I think this is coming out really cool so far. Really, really cool so far. Let's continue putting some mortar mix in here. Sticking my bricks like glue. Okay. Do this one over here. Hey, Robert, help me out here, man. You want to put some of this glue down? You just want to play with it, right? Just playtime. That's alright.
They're guarding it so nobody interrupts it.
Look, you could put him up here like he's actually building it too.
It's like he's working.
Yeah.
Like in the construction place in Chase McCain, you have to be a construction worker.
Yeah.
But you need to get a crane from you needed to get stuff for a guy named Vinny.
Yeah.
But they didn't know who Vinny was working for, but now it could be Vinny because Mom unlocked him.
Nice.
But he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
But Chase was working for him. So it's funny. Chase was working for Vinny. Vinny was working for Rex. And Rex was working for another bad guy.
Got it.
But when I went to space on one of the missions, which I saved, I'm still at space. I checked this morning, I'm still there. I have to drive a robot.
Interesting.
So I needed to be the mechanic guy to shut the lasers off.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, do you think we should make like windows here? I think I'm gonna put like little windows there, okay? So what I'm gonna do to make the windows is I'm
Do
gonna
we have
hop.
enough time to like build 2 houses?
Well, it depends on how much assistance I'm getting. I don't know if I could build 2 houses by myself.
I'm gonna build the second house. It's gonna be a jail cell.
Well, I got another screen here, dude. See, and there's more bricks. You want to start building that? You could build that right here on the side. Yeah? There's a couple bricks there, and I have some more here, and I'll open some more up, okay? Let me know when you need more bricks.
Construction.
Oh, that's your screen. Sorry. So look, this is what I was saying earlier. You see how there's a gap there? If you alternate them like that, they fit closer together. Okay? Okay, you need some bricks? Cool. And I'm going to clean up a little bit of this dirt here and add it
Wait,
back
but
into my
what-
mix. Add it back to my
What
mix.
is this?
It's the mix, that's the glue. So you're gonna mix it up a little bit, get a little water in there so it's not so tough to move. And then you can put that in between the bricks, right? Can you hand me another tray, bud? It's too far for me to reach. Okay, so again, to push them out, look, I'm just tapping the bottom so it gives a little flex and I feel the mold release. And that way I don't cause any damage to the bricks. Voila. Awesome. Do you like the big bricks or the little bricks better, buddy?
I like the big one.
Yeah, the big ones are very cool to work with, huh? Cool. This is actually a lot of fun. This is probably one of the funnest projects that we've done, huh, Robert? Yeah. If you're watching this and you've never done this, this is actually really fun and easy to build with. I really like the shape of the ice cube trays for the bricks with their tapered shape. It really helps to connect things together and to give some good structure because as the weight pushes down on them, it's going to be on angled lines and not straight vertical lines, which prevent it from toppling. A lot of fun there. Nothing. Well, put them on the ground here, bud. Like Daddy did, so that way you could just let them sit. You got it.
Coming apart.
Let me see. Oh, do you want that one on the top? Well, look at the shape of it. Make that the ground. And then the next ones are going to be up like that. Okay? Cool. And then you see how there's a gap here in between the bricks? So put the next brick over them. So don't make a long straight line. You see how they alternate the lines? Perfect. That'll help keep your structure. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to move Emmett up to the top now because I'm going to finish my row here. What I actually did was on this side, I don't think you can see it very well, but maybe from the top view you can. There's actually a gap here, and that's going to be a little window. So when I do the next row, you'll have a little window with light and air coming through. A lot of fun. Okay, so let's put this up here, mortar here. Awesome. Now, I thought this project was going to be really, really messy when I started it, but it's not really that messy, is it, Robert? Is it messy, Robert? It is, but not too bad, right? Not as bad as the slime project. That one was real messy. Huh?
But I like the slime one.
You did, huh?
I still have that King Boo sculpture.
You do, but he's like deflated now, huh?
It's like a balloon I got deflated.
Awesome. Cool, I like what you built here. That's a cool wall. Looks very good. Why don't you continue, bud? I have more bricks. Here. There you go. And if we need more dirt and stuff for more mortar, we just go outside and you'll shovel some more for us, okay? But I do have extra here as well that I'm reusing. Awesome. Now, even indoors right now, my house is probably around 77, 75. The mortar is drying really good. Obviously, it's not perfectly dry, but it's hardening enough that it's holding the structure really well. So maybe 24 hours in other climates may not be too far off. It might work. Doesn't have to be 100 degrees out here. Hey Robert, did you know over here by where we are, they actually have a place where they have big houses like this made that you can visit? It's a museum. They have adobe houses. Isn't that cool? What do you think, Robert? You think that's cool?
But at museums, so you don't touch them and they break.
Yeah.
And stuff, they have those glasses.
Yeah, they usually have things blocking you from messing with it too much, huh? But you don't want to mess with it because you don't want to destroy something that's been there for maybe over 100 years, huh? You just want to appreciate the ingenuity.
And my mohawk's been here for 100 years.
How's your mohawk been here 100 years? You haven't even been here 100 years.
It's been here 2 days.
It's 2 days, yeah. You got your haircut yesterday, huh? That's cool. It's a nice mohawk. Awesome, so I'm just trying to finish this wall here. I think 3 layers is going to be plenty high for a Lego house. So I don't think I'm going to go much higher. Even 2 layers might have been. Lego guys aren't very tall. So then I could start finishing the other parts of the structure here. And maybe we could start giving it some texture on the outside walls too, to fill in all the gaps and give it its creativity, aesthetic elements. So that is a big part of engineering as well, is not only structurally sound, but you also want to have a good aesthetic design that people are going to enjoy. I'm really liking this. There's a nice little window over here. Robert, you see that window? That's pretty cool, huh? So
But if that was a jail cell, bad guys could crawl out of it.
But it's not a jail cell. It's just a wonderful house for somebody to live in. Like maybe like your pilot when he comes home from work. It's
I
gonna be like
made
his
a yucky
vacation
jail
house or
cell
something.
for them.
Okay.
Because it's a really old jail cell.
Yeah, it's like,
It's from 1944 Legos.
that's not even that old.
I'm
1944
pretending
is not.
it's that old. But in Legos, for
Okay.
Legos,
Yeah.
it's 1987 for Legos.
1987, that's not even that old. That was the year I was born. Are you calling me old?
That is 19.
1900? That's getting a little bit older, but
You're old.
still not
You're
that
old.
old.
You got a beard.
Yeah.
You're bald.
So as soon as you get a beard, that means you're old? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. But when you're bald, also when you're like, if you're dead, you're really old.
Yeah.
When you're dead. or die a different way.
Sure. All right, bud. Work on your gel cell.
Or
I'm
if
working
you have
on
white
this.
hair. Wait, when you get old, you get some white hair.
Your hair doesn't have color anymore, huh?
Uh-huh.
That would be a cool project to figure out too. Why does people's hair turn white when they get old?
Because their good hair vanishes
Their good hair vanishes.
and don't have good stuff in them. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I definitely am loving this project a lot. It's simple. It's literally two materials. It's water and dirt. Water and dirt. And I think I'm curious if other people are going to do it in other parts of California, if they're going to be able to create these bricks as easily, because part of the reason the bricks stick together is because of the clay content that's in the soil. And I think there is a good amount of clay in the sand out here in this desert, which allows the bricks to stick together like this. So maybe I'm just lucky the area where I'm in and I tried to do this. I thought it was pretty cool. And as I said earlier, I'm using the ice cube trays because I wanted a nice brick to make houses out of. But you don't have to use ice cube trays. You can use any frame that you want for different shapes. So you could have used a cup if you wanted a cylindrical shape to make like a tower, and you could excavate inside. After you have the general shape, you could actually carve away some of the dirt as well. So maybe you could make like a watchtower or the tower of a castle and give them different shapes based on the framing that you're using. I just choose a nice brick here to do a square rectangular house. But use your imagination on how you can build any different structure and see what you come up with.
Where is my spoon? There is the spoon.
That is your spoon, that's your spoon. Starts on it asked if you only had sand or different different dirt, different soil compositions make different bricks. And that's kind of, as I was saying earlier, I definitely think depending on where you live and the content, the chemical content of the soil will vary on your ability on what type of bricks that you're able to make. She asked about sand only. I live in the desert. I would consider this kind of a sand, but it's not beach sand. So I wonder what beach sand would do if you live close to the beach. It's interesting. I don't know if I have an answer to that. Do you think sand would work, Robert, if you were to try to make these bricks out of sand?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But they would make it a little bit gluier, kind
A
of.
little bit gluier?
So it sticks on more.
Yeah. What I did learn, I was actually watching a video of someone making a huge structure out of this, and out of Adobe. And what they were saying is that they actually put a different ingredient in with the soil. So if you had some hay or a thin fiber from a plant, you could actually chop that up and mix it in with your brick, and that'll give a binding material to help hold things together. So maybe if you did something like that, maybe like a sand and a seaweed or something, maybe that would help build something close to the beach. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer to that. You would have to do some experimenting. Robert, I am really liking how this is coming out. What do you think? You want some more bricks here, bud? There you go.
Yeah. I got it. But it's a
Got it.
dopey.
Cool. we're getting towards the part where we're gonna build a doorway. So I gotta start thinking about how and where I want that door. This is really holding together quite well. I wish I could turn it around to show you, but the surface I'm working on doesn't allow me to turn too much.
They can see it on top of the camera.
They can, but they can't see like all the cool joints over here and stuff, how I'm connecting the brick, only on that south side there. And that was the first side that I did. I think I got better at doing this the more I did it. What do you think? Do you think the more you're working on it, the better you're getting at it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I look to see. The things that I look to the things that working all the time. The things that I look to.
Right. Are you singing your songs about working?
It's about working and trying. You keep on trying. And you make it through.
Robert is singing now. Awesome. Maybe Robert should be in the music classes we offer too, huh? That would be really fun. So I'm trying to figure out now, Robert, how I'm going to do this doorway. And I'm running out of mortar here.
Nothing better
Yeah, I like your songs about working. I like it. Robert, were you using this brick? Was this part of your project, or can I use it?
You can use it.
Thank you.
I felt that I kept trying and I got awesome when I thought he was gone. It's showing in another scene, like at the end of the movie.
Uh-huh.
Look.
Cool. Can you hand me a new... Oh, he's coming out. Can you hand me a new tray, buddy? I am running out of mixture here, so I'm trying to use the dirt that I have. Here I have more water.
And then there's going to be a second one.
Maybe a second one.
I work so
Alright,
hard.
need a new tray.
I don't know if there's a second Jake McCain because I haven't beat the whole game.
Yeah,
We almost did.
I don't know either. Okay, again, just push them from the bottom and they come
Maybe
out.
it's just like Zelda. You beat the whole game and nothing happened.
Maybe.
That's bad guys still, a little bit of them.
Maybe. Hey Robert, I'm having trouble here now, dude. I'm trying to figure out
You
how.
went almost done.
Hey, I need your help. I need your brain. How are we going to make this next row over the doorway? Do you have an idea?
You are calling Siri. To make a doorway, you just leave it like that.
But I need to make the roof part too.
Roof part, then nobody can get in and out. Because you need your hand there to control the person. Because they are not alive.
I don't know what you're blabbing about. Do you?
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm asking
I
you.
have your calculations. Nothing Nothing. Nothing found.
So I think I made my doorway too wide here.
Too wide.
So I don't know.
Calculating. No.
This is where the math skills come in. If I were to plan out and draw this before.
Here are your choices. None right now. For Corona, just wear a pink or blue
Hey,
mask.
buddy, I need help finishing this, dude. I'm almost done.
You need help finishing your spoon. Make a plastic spoon. Just
Hey, Robert,
nothing.
I need help.
You need help. No reservations found.
All right, Robert, I think it's enough of that.
It's a GPS
I know,
now.
but I need help with this now, and that's not helping me.
Helping. Helping is certain one.
Come on.
Helping a person. I am telling you directions. I had enough. It shut the phone off.
Yeah. Robert, how are we going to close this doorway?
You can close the door
Or-
by making more.
No, like right here. I need something to go over the doorway. How can I do that? Do you know? Do you have an idea?
Just use some wood. Just use a wood over it.
Wood?
Wood. Yes.
Nope, I figured it out.
Wood.
So what I did in order to make my doorway
Ooh.
is I need to suspend 2 bricks over the opening. So these are going to be only half on the side. And then the tapered sides go together. And they push with enough weight down that it's not going to fall over. So that is going to be the solution here.
Let's see.
It makes you wonder like how the ancient Romans, they used a lot of arches. And the reason was for to make that suspension and use gravity to push the forces downward on the side edges. Now I believe the indigenous people like the Aztec and Mayans, they didn't necessarily use arches in the same way, but they used very tapered bricks that gave a triangle which worked as the same purpose. And that's why their structures had different architecture to them. Both designs work. The preference. I think I have enough mixture here just to get us through. What's the structure here, hopefully. Robert, how do you think it's looking? Do you think it looks like we did a good job?
You're almost done. You're almost done.
Almost done, almost done.
We need a continuous story to finish the house.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Right, running out of marker. Just enough to finish up here. think because I was getting a little bit of a headache from it, maybe. I don't know.
And we're running out of that stuff.
Yeah, but we're almost done anyway, so I think we mixed just about the right amount here. Because I think this is all we could do right now, because the next step would be to be filling in, well, is filling in the right word that I'm looking for? No, I think the next part would be to paint the outside. Paint's not the right word I'm looking for either. What's the right word I'm looking for? Maybe coat is the right word. So the next step would be to coat the outside and make a smooth surface using some more of our mortar mix, which is just, again, dirt and water. And so that way you would have a nice outside edge and you wouldn't actually see all the lines and the messiness between your bricks. And then after that you could leave it natural color, which would be this kind of grayish brown. Or you could put paint on it if you wanted to give it different colors and different looks. So you would want to do that coating inside and outside. That would give more rigidity to the structure, and it also helps the aesthetics appearance of it. But I am actually really, really happy with how it came out, Robert. What do you think about your house? You think it looks nice how it came out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just worried about that doorway. I think it needs more mix to help keep it structurally sound. So I would tell people, Lego figures, not to go in there yet. It's not safe until that dries, because that could fall on you and that wouldn't be fun.
Just like the other guy.
Right. Now I think one of the hardest parts here too, notice I didn't put a roof on here so Robert could play inside and stuff.
What's wrong?
But I think if you were really making a building, I think the roof would be a challenging part. And what I noticed that they did is they would take tree branches, like tree trunks, I'm sorry, not the branches, but the trunks of trees, and they would stick them through a set of the bricks, and then they would have beams that would go across, similar to how we design our houses today. And those would actually help support the weight of putting a roof on top of there. You would also want to have, I think, a triangular roof, because if they were building these houses out where I live, we get snow out here, and you don't want the weight of the snow to cave in. So you would want to taper your roof so that way the snow could fall off. So those are all things to consider if you were actually building one of these for real. And of course, a lot of our ancestors in various parts of the world were building structures very similar to this. So it's a science, it's an engineering, it's a history lesson. All things have been with us for quite some time, huh, Robert?
And just go inside!
Nah, wait till it dries a little bit more, okay?
Well, what if it falls on me?
Then it'd be not a good time, huh?
So what if I die? Ooh, no.
Uh-oh, what happened there? And Robert, do you want to tell us about your structure that you made over there? Robert, tell us a little bit about what you made over there.
I didn't have that much time though.
But it looks really cool. So I just wanted to share what your technique was there. It looks really cool.
Oh, it was yucky plants so bad guys don't like the smell.
Oh.
And they learn a lesson.
Okay. You know what it looked like to me?
What?
It kind of looked like an amphitheater, where like it would be a stage where they would do like acting shows and stuff like that, and then you could have like the audience
Like
over
when
here.
they talk like in game shows and like just like shows in houses and go like, hey honey, I'm back. And then it says, we'll be right back on the show. And like ABC. And like it's me and that.
Alright. So, I think pretty much we are done with our structure. It looks really structurally sound, I think. It just needs time to dry. And like I said, the joints take, well, the bricks took about 24 hours to dry in the sun. So I'm going to guess that the mortar is going to take just as equally amount of time to dry. Once that is done, then again you would come in and you would make the nice coat on. That would be the next step. You put your roof on, and then you have a completed structure that you made out of mud and water. And as long as there's no earthquakes or anything, I think this structure would be sound, quite sound for a good amount of time. Awesome. All right, Robert, do you have anything else to say to the people before we leave? We're almost done here. Our time is almost up.
I don't know.
Okay. You don't have to say anything else. I just asked if you had anything.
Horsey!
You're gonna go get your horsey and play Legos now with this?
Wait, I'm gonna show them the horse.
Okay, go get your horse to show. Robert wants to show everybody his Lego horse. Go quick, bud. Quick, quick, quick. What I'm doing now is I'm just actually adding some more structure down to the bottom to stick to the foundation, which is cardboard in this case. And it's working out pretty nicely. I'm actually really happy on how it came out. It looks really good. Awesome. I also had a thought as I was doing this. This would be really cool to make like Robert has Star Wars Legos to make the city. I can't. Tatooine, is that the name of the planet?
I do have
Where Luke Skywalker's from, and he have all those little buildings and stuff. That's what this reminds me
I
of.
have Star Wars. I have the Stormtrooper.
Yeah, it's that planet called Tatooine where they build where the Luke Skywalker's from. And he has all the excavated farms and his little structures and stuff. That looks really cool.
Yeah, they're from that one.
All right, buddy. Show them, and then we're
They're
gonna.
like those white camouflage ones.
Yeah.
Other ones.
All right, show everybody your horse.
I got this guy from Star Wars.
Cool. So you brought your Star Wars guys too. Next, sit down too, so we can see your face.
I got one of those little alien guys from Star Wars. I got a black horsey, but can move his neck up and down.
Cool.
He's black. He's
Okay.
black, and I call him Coley.
Coley, like your doggy, huh? Awesome.
And that's his face guy.
All right, buddy, ready to say bye to everybody and tell everyone to have a good weekend?
Bye.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us today in Mud Bricks. And I really encourage you to try this project at home. It was a lot of fun for the two of us today. We're going to let it dry, probably add some texture to it. And then Robert's going to play. We got to go, bud. Say bye-bye.
Bye, but next time, I'm gonna bring the Chase McCain, the Lego figure.
You're going to bring your Chase McCain Lego figure? Awesome. Well, next time I think we're going to be making boats. If you want to do that project with me, we're going to make a little boat, okay? That'll be a lot of fun.
Wait, is that gonna be the pool one when we go in the pool?
We'll make the little pool here because we can't take the camera out to the pool. All right, say bye to everybody. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.